On the Gretna Riverfront, Charisse Gibson, Doug Mouton, and Tommy Cvitanovich from Drago's, of course, joins us. Tommy, look, first thing, what does this week mean to the restaurant community for hospitality in New Orleans?
Well, it means the same thing for the whole city, everywhere, whether it's casinos, whether it's the stores. I mean, it means business, it means people in town, it means the cab drivers are taking people to different places. It's just a windfall for the city. It's a real fast windfall, and then the cool thing, it's got that residual value because you got those people that are at home in Ohio and Kansas and all these other places, and the wife's sitting on the sofa watching New Orleans, and they're watching the cutaways, and they see the riverboat and the river and Jackson Square, and they say, honey, when we have our vacation this summer, let's go there, or in the fall. And it just, the residual value for the next few years, it's just priceless.
You know, I have to tell you, between the people that are just out here, we've already had a couple of dozen oysters.
At least.
How many oysters do you think that you're going to sell leading up to Super Bowl week?
Wow, this week we're going to be, between our two restaurants here in New Orleans, the one at the Hilton and the one in Metairie, we'll probably more than 100,000 oysters this week.
Goodness.
It's a lot of oysters, baby.
And it means-
we sell them a dozen at a time.
Yes.
And it means something to sort of spread the oyster culture, right?
Yeah.
Because those people will want to come back here.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and that's the one, Louisiana's famous for seafood, but New Orleans is really famous for oysters and our oyster bars, and all of the, oysters and New Orleans, it's like, I hate to say it, red beans and rice, peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah.
It just goes together, and it's just natural.
You have a lot
New Orleans.
You have a lot of people that come here, and they always talk about Dragos, and they talk about the way that you do your charbroiled oysters. They
Let's show
taste
'em.
fantastic. Like, we have to talk about how is it you get this taste? How do you achieve this?
You do it with lots of butter, lots of garlic, lots of cheese, and lots of fire and smoke. And the main ingredient, Louisiana oysters.
And the smell, I hate to say it because we're out here and
There's no mosquitoes right now, baby.
people watching us, the smell is absurdly good.
Yeah, it's really, really good. And, I'm just so happy that, and let me tell you, this is oyster season right now, so even my competition has great oysters right now. So everywhere in town, oysters are awesome. They're, right now they're doing a big kick like tomorrow with eating oysters and making it a big deal with the Oyster Task Force, and doing where we reclaim and take the oyster shells and put them back in the water. And the thing is to buy oysters, and so we can put more shells back in the water to reclaim our coast, and that's a big thing. So most restaurants have specials.
I was going to ask because we had a couple of oysters, and before we got rid of those, I said these shells are just amazing, and I think they can be used for so many wonderful things. And is that what we're seeing more and more of? More restaurants reusing those oyster shells?
Well, the thing is, if you can start and grow an oyster reef, that thing grows, and that's natural growth and natural land barriers, and helps reclaim our coast and helps hold our coastline from kind of going back into the water, and so it's a great and it helps regrow oysters. An oyster spat, which is a baby oyster, the best thing for it to attach to start growing is an oyster shell, because it pulls all the nutrients out of that shell, and it's ready, it grows a lot faster, a lot better, and that's what makes Louisiana oysters great. That and the mixing of the fresh and salt water, what we call brackish, and now that we're in the cold water time of season, it's oyster season, baby.
You're making me hungry.
Oysters, yeah, beautiful stuff. That's Tommy Cvitanovich from Drago's. We're going to see how many oysters Charisse can eat in this break.
I'm getting some more.
I love feeding women oysters.
When we come back, we'll